Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're joining in. Thanks for coming in for another video. I've got another 10 roll challenge, Hunt and Fill. Well, Hunt, I don't know so much about Fill anymore, but we've went by the bank. I've got 10 rolls of quarters, all customer wrapped. I got 10 rolls of dimes, all customer wrapped. I do have all bank wrapped of the nickels, but they are circulated. So we're going to have some fun going through those. And surprisingly, I got a nice teller because I asked for, hey, can I get 10 rolls of each? He gave me 10 rolls, $5 worth of pennies, all customer wrapped rolls. So I'm really curious on this. And that's where, of course, we are starting. Now, normally I would weigh these out, dimes, quarters, nickels, and start light to heavy. But actually, what I wanted to look at here is one of these, this one right here. If we look at the size difference, that's got a couple extra pennies I'm going to guess. So that's the one I'm going to start off with. Looking again, primarily these rolls are falling apart, so I wonder if these have been hunted already. Very loose packed, but we'll see. And nope, they are hunted. I am going to get rid of that one though. And let's see first if, yeah, we got more than 50 here. Yep. All right. That's 50 there. So this roll actually had 6 extra. That's a nice bonus of those. So let's just take a quick look here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out any I need to scope out separately. I will separate all of the copper out as I always do. Slightly off center, but not a significant amount. Let's look a little salt damage. But yeah, I'll check all of the 83s that for any kind of, or weigh all of those. I'll weigh all my 82s. I do check for some of the doubling, wide AM, close AM, scope, and so I'll check those off camera just so we're not looking at all of this. It's nice condition. Well, I go through these 2024s. We'll keep those. Damage on that one. Four again. But if anybody's interested, I'll probably go through. Oh, that's a lot of 24s. That's unusual. I'll keep the 2024s, 25s. I don't know how long I'll keep those. I don't see a market for them in my area. Definitely uglier ones I will throw back into circulation. I'm just predominantly looking for those Wheaties. It'd be nice to see some Indian heads. I haven't seen an Indian head for a while. Any kind of proof. And any kind of errors. I'm not as big on, there's so many on the pennies, it's hard to keep track. So I just tend to look for the major ones that I know about, or the obvious ones. Close AM, wide AM, some of those turn of the century coins. But that's it. So no significant finds. Got a decent start to some copper cents up there. That's what I do. 1960s, 70s, and 80s. I do separate those. And then that way I could give a count. So I'll go through and weigh and inspect these, and I will bring you back in for any finds along the way. Well, that didn't take long. Nothing really in those pennies. Those Lincoln cents, 10 rolls. Just to recap what I have here, I've got 3 from 1959. I don't see those too often. It's nice to see they're around there. 1959. None of them are the mules that I keep looking for, but I do separate those. So we did have 3 from 1959. We have 22 from the 1960s. We have 55 from the 1970s. And we have 20 from the 1980s. So that's only 100 copper cents out of those coppers. That's 20%. So that's on the low end of my average. I always say I average closer to 22, but between 20 to 25% copper yet. So 1/5 of the rolls. Not bad. Average. Of interest in these, though, is I have 33 2024 Denvers, and I had 12 2025 Denvers. So we did get some 2024, 2025. Drop those comments below. Do I keep them? Are they still hot commodities? Are people looking at buying them? Or do I just send them back into limited circulation, whatever it is? Of the fines, if you could call them fines, again, nothing to write home about. We have a very dirty, that is the presidential, no, that's his formative years. I have to think on that. Birth and presidency, yeah. So, whatever that one is. 2009, Philadelphia. But again, that is dirty. That's probably going to go back in circulation. This one, birth and early childhood, is a little bit better, but man, it's still dirty and circulated. And that one is a 2009 Philadelphia as well. So that's it. 2029 finds. No Indian heads and no wheats in this search. So what I'm going to do now, if I don't drop everything off first, is the next thing to do is I've got our nickels. And I did separate these out. I think I'm pulling this out. And I did weigh them. So this is one of the heavier rolls, weighing at 200 grams even. Usually most of the rolls were weighing around 119 and a half. So this is weighing a little bit heavier in relation to the others. And if we just do edge checks, there's nothing fancy on this one. I'm not seeing 92. No key edges to look for sticking out. Let's take a look at these. Look a little more rounded. That's a nice good color there. That's 2000 Denver. It's got a nice shine to it. And 95, 64 Philadelphia. So I'll start going through the nickels, hoping for some buffalo, hoping for some more nickels, hoping for the early 50s, 55 55 Philly, 50 Denver. But yeah, I'll just go through these and I'll bring in if there's any finds along the way. Here we are at the end of the nickels. Not too many finds, some good finds, but no book fillers for me. We have a dirty, well-loved 1941 Philadelphia. We have a 1946. That's also Philadelphia. Fair condition. We have a 1947. Definitely seeing its age there. Love the toning and dirt on that one. Nice characteristics, but that is a Denver, 47 Denver. Of our 50s, we did have a 1956 Philadelphia. pretty good condition there. Nice details left in there. We have a 1957. That's also Philadelphia. Not bad condition. We have a dirty 1959, and that is Philadelphia. Wish that crud wasn't there. 1959 also gave us a Denver. Still decent condition. No book fills. Move that up aside here. No book fills. Nothing of excitement here. So now we are on to our dimes. And now that I do this, I don't think there's anything of interest, and I can't remember which end is which now. So we'll just do this real quick and take the two enders just to see what kind of coins we have. One side was a light side, one side was heavy. They all weighed pretty even if I remember right. We'll just do a quick, that's a little dirty corroded there. That is a 2000. All right. No silver in that one. We'll look for any kind of proofs at a later date or off camera. Let's take a look at the light side. And a lot of newer ones in there, a lot of shinies, but no silver in that one either. All right, so I'll get through working on the dimes here, and I will bring you in for any finds along the way. Well, there you have it. That is our dimes. Nothing. Not a zip zilch. Couple short in the first ones, couple extras in the ends. It all balanced out for those customer wrapped rolls. Now we're moving on to the quarters. Weighed these out, lower to highest here, all weighing pretty much around the 227 grams, which is normal for the quarters, but this is the heaviest roll. 227 and change, so let's take a look at it. Oh, that's deceptive there. Just double check, that's just going to be dirty. Yep, 1998. So nothing in that roll. I'm going to do quarters completely off screen for you guys just because there's so much to look for. I pull out my scope with it and to look at a lot of them more in detail for some of the doublings. I am going to look for those W's. Looks like we're getting the right years, just the wrong mints. And I will bring you back if there are any finds along the way. Well, that didn't take long. I'm only a quarter way through this roll. Take a look at this one. That is United States of America, 25 cents. Mayflower. Compact, is that what that says? Mayflower Compact. Flip that over. E pluribus unum. 1776 to 2026. That is my first 2026 coin. That is, and it looks like it's been in circulation a little bit. There's some dents there, dirty reed. But that is my first 2026 quarter. Wow. It's only February. Not even halfway through February to 2026. First one, that is a winner and a half for me. That's a new one. All right, folks, so here we are. I'm just bringing you in for the summary rather than the quarter first because we did only have that one quarter find. But a beauty of a find it is. It is circulated already, dented up and a little dirty, but that is a 2026. That is my first 2026. I'm happy to see that in circulation. The anniversary year, and that is a Philadelphia mint. Took me a while to find where that mint mark is, and that is the Mayflower Compact, they call it. So that is the Mayflower. That is my first 2025 or 26 quarter. Then as you recall, just to recap again here, our nickels, we had the 41, 46, 47, 56, 57, and 259s. Standard circulation and standard common nickels in there. So no miraculous find in this 10 nickel hunt. There were no dimes. The pennies, again, were pretty much just those 2024s. No Wheaties in there. That's why they're not out here. So hey, take a moment. Remember to hit that thumbs up to work that YouTube algorithm for me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you have hit that subscribe button, thank you. And be sure to share it. Some more content's going to be coming this spring as well, but I'll try my best to keep with these weekly coin collecting videos. And so until the next time, guys, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and happy hunting.